Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 18 on EA Sports. With that, it's time to crown the champion of the NFC. And to call the action, we send it to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The excitement level around here at a fever pitch as we're underway in the 2020 NFC Championship game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Runs through the contact, and he is going to lose yardage here. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you. And anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And boy, what a great defensive play there. Worn out leverage, running to the football from the inside out, turned into a big loss of yardage.
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They'll try the air now with Newton. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There's a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And the back goes into motion. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So not exactly jubilation over on that visiting sideline, but at least a high 5 or 2 for their kicker as he gets them the first points of the night here on the opening drive.
And 3 points are not to be underestimated. You're on the road, under the lights, national TV audience. You want to come out and look good, and that's a good start right there.
So out come the Bucs now. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. I'm ready now for 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Avoids him at the 40. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be knocked down sideways. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now they'll run it on the toss. And out of bounds right around the 20. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. On 3rd down, that's Curtis. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or 2 shorter than an extra point. So no problems converting there.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a first down throw for Newton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On second down, McCaffrey. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
In motion right comes Funchess. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now Newton on first down. This one complete to Devin Funchess. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Here's Newton now on second down. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. And Godot's kick is right through. And that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. On the return, it's Niall Davis. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. Winston to throw it this time. Airing this one out for Evans. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off the play fake, Winston. He's going to air one out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lock behind it. Wow. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Newton now to throw. Flush to his right. Room here to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Fresh set of downs here. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. This is McCaffrey on the give. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. McCaffrey with a 1st down and more. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there. 53 yards. And his guys are able to strike for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Gano out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him, they've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Play fake. Winston. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Carolina getting set to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. So we've reached halftime here. Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Newton on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to go deep for Funchess. He rifles one that's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Bucs on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. 3rd and long for Winston. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. To throw is Newton. And Kelvin Benjamin's got it. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
10 yards still left on second down. Throwing again. Newton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. Got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. To throw on second down is Newton. He's going to let it go deep for the end. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Brian Allen. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Ready. Blue ready. 4 down. Check.
Now they'll run it on the toss. A beautiful fake. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 6, and that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here. Second down and 4. Shift together here from the D-line. Jameis to throw it. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to do with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Ultimately, that did not work out for the offense, but they have to feel pretty good about the play overall. They were so close to having that thing pop for the yardage they needed, but instead, they actually lost yardage on that one.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. Back to throw, Newton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a run with McCaffrey. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with a lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
On second down, here's Newton. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. Third and long, it's Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. This is McCaffrey, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. In motion left goes a tight end. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run with McCaffrey, and he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard at the 18-yard line. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Here's McCaffrey, and he'll get this down only to the 18. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down right at the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So, Charles, I think from a defensive perspective, you have to look at that field goal there and consider it a win.
You were able to keep them within a touchdown, so no question about it. That was the kind of stand that keeps you in ball games.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. 1 possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. K1 short in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
One last shot now for Winston. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. And they get to hoist the Hallis Trophy. Unbelievable victory, moving on to the Super Bowl.
I only hope that these players understand exactly who is behind that trophy. George S. Hallis, one of the creators of this great game of football of ours and creator of the NFL. What an amazing feeling and an amazing accomplishment.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we bid you good night from Tampa.